the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold, going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold, going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold, going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold, going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold, going back to the Super Bowl. I feel like black and gold, going back to the Super Bowl.
For listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. There's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Hey, man, y'all like that Urkel little mix I put right there? Some of y'all know what that is, man. Yo, that was back in the day, man. A show called Family Matters for some of the younger viewers. It was a really popular show during the 90s, man, and Steve Urkel was the man. So that was actually the scene from his famous Urkel dance. All right, so I just kind of mixed that, put the black and gold to the Super Bowl. I just thought it was funny. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. Really do appreciate the time. Shouts out to everybody following into the chat, everybody listening right now. Extremely excited. This is a big week for myself. This is a big week for the State of the Saints podcast. Got a lot of things going on, man. The premiere of the NFC South Roundtable, I will be a part of every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. We'll be talking about, the biggest stories in the NFC South throughout the whole entire season, representative from each respected team. So it's Roundtable Sports. So you can go to youtube.com, search Roundtable Sports, look up NFC South. They have like the group of different divisions, and I say subscribe to all the channels. Those guys work extremely hard to make sure that they put great content together. And also the Gumbo Pie Sports podcast, 32 teams in 32 days. I was a little bit late. For those that probably know, there's a storm coming my way. I live out in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and me working at a radio station, this is one of the busiest times for us. The fact that we're trying to get people prepared about school closures and traffic delays and stuff like that. So it's always a busy time. It's an exciting time if you're into like broadcasting, getting that information out there. So shouts out to everybody that was wondering where the 32 teams video was today. It is out right now. We focused on the San Francisco 49ers on this edition. And I also noticed that there's been an uptick in viewership. So thank you all for that. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk about our favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. And there's a lot of things to be excited about. I know some people are on the fence about the team. And I know the last podcast that I did earlier today, people were kind of upset. I seen someone, take a shot at me in the comments saying I'm not a real Saints fan because, I don't know what the heck happened. I'm only telling you what a lot of people are saying, like don't kill the messenger. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just telling you, but anyway, the fact is there's a lot of positive things that we can talk about, and one thing that we're all excited about is the potential of quarterback Spencer Rattler. Y'all know me. If you follow me on social media, I've been saying before the Senior Bowl, don't sleep on Spencer Rattler. Don't sleep on Spencer Rattler. And people were joking, but they never thought in a million years more than likely he would land in the lap of their favorite team, the Saints. And, Spencer Rattler has really come into his own. And today, which is Monday, he had an opportunity to get more reps due to the fact of, now it's an unfortunate circumstance. He got the majority of these reps. I want to make that very clear. Jake Haener was getting a procedure. Of course, we know that he told the media that he was diagnosed with a form of skin cancer, not anything that's terminal, which is great. But he is doing something to fix the procedure. So, I mean, yeah, to fix the issue. So, want to send prayers up to Jake Haener, make sure that he gets a speedy recovery. He's supposed to be back at practice the next time the Saints are out there. But all in all, Spencer Rattler took advantage of the opportunities. And, he really shined. A lot of glowing comments about Spencer Rattler, his ability to throw the ball down the field, the accuracy that he has. And look, he's not short of confidence. And, it seems like he's really seen to grow in this same scheme right here. And I think we're all looking forward to seeing him play in this weekend's game versus the Arizona Cardinals. But, Spencer Rattler spoke to the media a little bit about the whole process, and he says he's feeling pretty good.
I just think getting chemistry with the guys, obviously getting reps and just getting comfortable with everything, feel great. Gotten a lot of reps, a lot of practices under my belt, so feel good. And still a lot of room to improve.
So he's excited with the progress, and I think we all are. Nobody was surprised or shocked when they heard that Spencer Rattler was playing pretty well at practice. I think we all know the upside. I mean, at one time, this guy was projected to be the first overall pick in the draft. People were comparing him to Patrick Mahomes, before everybody started comparing Caleb Williams to Patrick Mahomes. But y'all know how it goes, man. Look, out of sight, out of mind, right? Everybody was looking at the shiny new toy, which is Caleb Williams. And, you had Spencer Rattler, and I'm very familiar with this, him going to South Carolina. I mean, he was, man, people like raved about this guy and his maturity and how he changed from what he was at Oklahoma. And sometimes you have to fall flat on your face sometime in order for you to really understand and grasp the concept and start living your best life. And in this case, he's living his best football life. I just feel like a lot of these guys, they come into the league, they've always been told they're the best, right? They always been told that they're great. They always been told that, you're going to make millions of dollars and everybody's going to love you, right? But when they experience that hardship, I feel like they don't know how to accept it. Like they don't know how it feels not to be the best because they've been told they're the best their entire life. But I think it probably did some good that Spencer Rattler went through this during his collegiate career, because now you understand there's the highs and the lows, and you have to maintain this level of intensity. You got to maintain this level of focus in order for you to be able to generate the results that you want. And I just think that is great for him. Like he matured a lot. There were times where I know a lot of you didn't watch South Carolina football, but there was a lot of times, like if you were a quarterback, like the way that offensive line was structured and the way that man was getting like pummeled in some of the games. Well, most of the games in the SEC, and he never complained about it. He always was uplifting guys, always encouraging them. And that's when I think a lot of people just started to root for him. And it's a great opportunity, man. And I'm happy for him, getting these extra reps, really showing what he can do. And hopefully he can follow that up with a solid game on Saturday. But he also talked about a lot of what he learned at South Carolina kind of helped him, be able to adapt to this Saints offense. Check this out.
Yeah, I was lucky to have a system like this at South Carolina. Obviously not to the level of this. What Clint is doing is amazing. As you guys know, his resume is great. And but a lot of the verbiage is the same, a lot of motion, stuff like that. But this is just a level up. Obviously, a lot more volume of things, and we get great looks on every play. I feel like, and we have answers. So once you get it under your belt, I don't have everything under my belt, but I feel great. You can get rolling.
So I'm encouraging everybody to check out the nearly 7 minutes of this interview. I mean, a very humble, hat in hand Spencer Rattler here. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. I'm a big fan of Jake Haener too. Jake Haener, I have nothing but respect for. I speak very highly of him. If you're new to the channel, it's not an indictment on him. I still feel like he is really into this race. As a matter of fact, shouts out to John Hendricks. John put out the depth chart of the New Orleans Saints, and according to that depth chart, and it's not set in stone, but Jake Haener was the number 2 quarterback. So to say that he's out of the race because Spencer Rattler had a good day, not so fast. And also, you can check out that Dennis Allen interview. He asked his interview from Monday's practice. He talked a little bit about that, and he talked about the competition is still open, and he wants to see what these guys can do this weekend. So he had a great day, but Jake Haener is still in the mix. Jake Haener is not backing down, and quite honestly, this is what you want, Who Dat Nation, because you want the best for this team. Whoever gives you that, rather it's Rattler, rather it's Haener, I'm supporting it. And I support the fact that these guys are getting after it and they're competing at the highest level. And they both, like, it's so amazing. It's almost like a heavyweight fight or any type of boxing match. Like, you got one guy that probably has this certain skill set. He probably has, the power in the right hand, the one hitter quitter. And then the other guy is just basically fundamentally sound, right? He does all the things right. A lot of people might count him out, but, it's going to be tough going to the scorecards, kind of like Terrence Crawford this past weekend, but both of these guys, like, they have different skill sets, but it suits them. You have Jake Haener, who is a savant when it comes to the quarterback position. He's accurate. He understands. He can get in and out of the huddle. Then you have Spencer Rattler, who is talented. He got that arm talent and that ability. And if he can actually grab the concept, he can be dangerous. So it's amazing to watch, man. I'm looking. It's been a minute since I look forward to a Saints preseason game. Like, seriously, like I'm excited about this weekend to watch a preseason game. I mean, how many of us, like, in the last 10 years have ever said that sentence and, like, really honestly are going to be evaluating and looking just like the coaches are doing or just like the media is doing? Like, it's exciting. This is exciting. But let me go ahead and read some of your comments. Thank you to all those that are in the comments right now. I really do appreciate it. And I want to give a special shout out to Cade. Cade, thank you very much for the $1.99. I can get that McChicken sandwich now. Shouts out to you, brother. Says start Spencer. Look, that's all right, man. Come on, man. Let's calm it down. Let's pump the brakes. All right. Look, I said this, and I'm going to continue to say it. I want Spencer Rattler to play. I want him to play just as much as you do. Like, the fact that I've been telling people not to sleep on this dude, like, he has all the talent in the world, and he actually played for the team that I love. Like, it's amazing. But let's not get it twisted. I am still feeling to this point that Derek Carr is the best quarterback right now on this team. Like, all these other guys, like, it's great that they're developing and, that they can get better. And, eventually one day, maybe, they can be that starter, that franchise guy. I don't know. But Derek Carr at this point, he is the right man for the job. I mean, it's just the truth. And I don't want to see these guys go out here. Like, I don't want to see these guys go out here and they get their confidence, like, shaken. Because we all know, let's call a spade a spade. The first line of trouble we see on Saturday, if a guy throws an interception, if he takes a sack, oh, man, we don't want him. He's not our guy. Like, y'all already know how some of y'all roll. Y'all already know. Like, y'all evaluating that based on that. So I don't want that guy to go out there and let's just say, okay, he's going through those rookie growing pains. And then the second year, he has a possibility of getting better. But everybody like, oh, no. Like, I'd rather this guy sit on a bench, let him develop, let him become the best quarterback that he can be, let him be a student of the game before he gets in the game. All right? I want to see him play just as much as everybody else. But at the end of the day, like, pump your brakes, man. Like, we all know how this thing works. Everybody is the savior of the franchise until we actually see him play. And I don't want to see these guys out there. You know what I'm saying? If these guys are out there, and I'm knocking on wood, it's because Derek Carr is hurt. Like, that's the only way I would want to see them out there. I don't want to see them starting. And I don't feel like either one of them can beat out Derek Carr, like, right now. Like, as far as arm talent, if we having like like one of them classic Pro Bowl competitions where you can see who can throw the ball the furthest, like, okay, if we're doing a competition like that, then probably Spencer Rattler is your quarterback. But at the end of the day, I think Derek Carr is the guy for the job as of right now. But who's to say, like, Jake Haener year 3, Spencer Rattler year 2, maybe both of those guys will make, Derek Carr look like an afterthought. But right now, I think that Derek is the right guy for the job. And I think anybody that covering the team out there on the ground would say the same thing. I'm a fan of both Jake and Rattler as well. Yeah, look, I'm not rooting for anybody to get, tossed to the side. Like, I just think that Rattler comes with the name and, the reputation and, the comparison to Patrick Mahomes. And, it kind of like everybody knows, like, Spencer Rattler. Like, man, the guy was like almost like a rock star in college, right? Like, especially his freshman year, because he had a phenomenal year and everybody like kind of anointed him. Oh, he's the next Patrick Mahomes. He's the next Heisman Trophy winner. He's the next player of the year, first overall pick, like giving him all of these accolades. And, he didn't really live up to it, right? Like, it didn't happen for him. Second year, it came crashing down to earth. He looked like a shell of his freshman self. Like, so all I'm saying is, like, we know how this goes, man. Like, people are going to root for a certain quarterback over another and all that. But at the end of the day, if something was to happen to Derek Carr, one of these guys are going to have to play. And I don't care who it is. Like, I think both of these guys have a certain skill set that I can get down with and rock with. And I think that this offense and what they're running right now is basically quarterback friendly to both of their skill sets. The ability to be able to run outside of the pocket. People talk about Spencer Rattler. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but when on those rollouts and moving outside the pocket gives you options, like he mentioned, so. And also with Jake Haener, those quick throws, getting into the hands of the playmakers, kind of like that Brock Purdy style out there in San Francisco. Like, both of them can, like, thrive in an offense like this. And I can understand, like, honestly, I understand why the competition is like so close, because this offense provides, like, things that these two guys are really good at. So to me, I think it's a win-win for the Who Dat Nation. What's going on, Daniel? Thank you for being here. Says, why do Ohio State quarterbacks have bad reputations in the NFL? Probably because they haven't been really good. Like, we gotta call a spade here. Like, how many, like, Ohio State quarterbacks has come into the league and, like, just start lighting it up? Like, CJ Stroud might be the only one I can think of. Terrell Pryor, he came up in there like up and down. Cardell Jones, what are you in the XFL somewhere? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it just, I don't know, man. I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. Like, they give them opportunities. Like, I feel like Justin Fields is talented. I feel like CJ Stroud definitely is talented. I guess you can throw Joe. Nah, y'all ain't about to let Joe. I'm about to say what? Nah, man. But I guess Ohio State, they try to claim Joe Burrow, like, but y'all didn't want him, right? Yeah, y'all didn't want him. But no, man. Like, it's because they haven't been really good. Like, it's just the truth. Like, what Ohio State quarterback has been great in the National Football League? Like, I'm telling you, like, there haven't been many. That's probably the reason why they're hating on them. Like, not too many great Ohio State quarterbacks in the league. I am a Clint fan. Me too. I just hope that it all works out offensively. TJ, do you think Carr will perform better this season? Or do you think his personality with his injury beef with Olave appear again? Well, no. First off, to answer your first question, do I think that Carr will perform better? Yes. I feel like he will perform better not because I just feel like he's just going to light it up like the 4th of July or New Year's Rockin' Eve party, like nothing like that. The reason I feel like he's going to perform better is because they're not going to ask much of him. Like lesser Carr is better in my opinion, right? If you're just asking Derek Carr to like, do like a little play action pass down the field after the running game, like hitting them boys in the face like a sledgehammer, you know what I'm saying, hitting the ground. And then all of a sudden, like you hit them with the play action Tannehill style down the field, to Chris Olave or Shaheed, cool. Or, like this offense provides open lanes. So, you pass the ball off to Alvin Kamara like Drew did against the Packers, and he turns a 2-yard pass into a 50-yard touchdown. So I expect he's going to do better because they're not going to ask him to move heaven and earth for him, like they thought he was going to do last year. Like they're going to give him the Breeze offense like he was Breeze, but they learned pretty quick that he is not. And the second part of your question is, do you think his personality with his injury beef with Olave appears again? No, I don't. I don't feel like it's going to appear again for Derek's sake. I mean, you pretty much know what that did last year and how it was perceived, and how guys start to like kind of buck back at him. Like that's not a good idea. You might want to go and take a different approach. So I don't feel like he's going to do that. And I don't feel like there's a beef with Chris Olave. I don't. But no, I don't. I do expect for him to play better because they're not going to be asking much of him. What's going on, Tim? Blessings to you, brother. Chemo, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm pulling for the Saints this year. The Baltimore Ravens and New Orleans Saints playing in the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, from your lips to God's ears, my friend. TJ, what you think this year's record will be? I gotta watch the preseason games. I do. Well, I try to do 2 predictions. I feel like I did the prediction of the Saints a little bit too early, but it wasn't really much to talk about during that time. So I wish I wouldn't have did it. Then I went on like another show and had to do a prediction there. But anyway, I'm going to wait till after preseason. I got to see what this preseason roster looking like. I got to see what them boys looking like. And now you're not going to see everything. Like we ain't going to see the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to see he ain't going to empty the clip on us. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't going to see that. We ain't going to see the entire thing. But I want to see how this team moves to football. I want to see like some of these young bulls, because you pretty much already know what you got with the old guard. Like you know what they're gonna bring to the table more than likely. But I want to see this supporting cast. Like, look, we all know that Michael Jackson can perform, right? You know what I'm saying? But we got to see what Tito can do. You know what I'm saying? We got to see what Jermaine and Marlon can do. Like we got to see what the supporting cast looking like before we just, fully commit here. So I'm looking at, I don't know what their record going to be. Hurry up and buy. Ask me after the 3rd game, and I think I'll be able to give you a better answer. But right now, I cannot. Like, Ohio State doesn't have many good quarterbacks. I can say the same about LSU and Alabama. I love LSU. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. That's true, too. I mean, Alabama, like, who was the last great Alabama quarterback? Jalen Hurts? I don't know. Joe Namath? Like, they're not really known for that, I mean, Joe Burrow, like, probably the greatest LSU quarterback ever, like who was better than him? Like, who was better than Joe Burrow? I agree with you on that. They just want quarterbacks that just didn't make mistakes. Like Matt Mock, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know Matt Mock, man. He won a national championship back in the day against Josh Heupel and them. Wasn't a great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I think he's probably a dentist, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he's a dentist. He majored in dentistry, so I believe he's a dentist right now. But anyway, like, he wasn't great. I mean, he had like a cup of coffee with the Denver Broncos, but wasn't a great quarterback. Like Jordan Jefferson, brother of Justin Jefferson, wasn't a great quarterback. Rohan Davey, take y'all back. Rohan David wasn't no good quarterback. You know, decent. I mean, he had a good career, you know what I'm saying, as a clipboard holder, made a lot of money, but wasn't too many great quarterbacks coming out of LSU. Like Joe Burrow was the best. And it wasn't even close, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure some OGs can probably come up with some better quarterbacks, but I don't know, man. I don't think I mean, Zach Mettenberger, you know. So I don't know, man. Like, touche, my friend. Touche. You see the Saints winning the division this year. Do I see the Saints winning the division? No, sir. Hold on. Let me turn that up a little bit. I don't see the Saints winning the division. I feel like they're going to be competitive like they always are. I feel like they're going to be a tough out for teams, but I don't think they're going to win the division. I do not. Sorry, wrong show. I'm sorry, man. I might lose some folk. People might be exiting the stage left. I said something bad about the Saints. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Just my opinion. I don't think Carr will be the starter for the entire season. I believe Spencer or Haener will get the shot. Just my opinion. DA trying to save his job, says Eminem. You don't think DA gonna roll with his guy till the wheel fall off? We ride together, we die together. Bad boys for life. I don't know, man. Like, I think he gonna go down with the ship. Like, he is the Rose to his Jack. Like, seriously. Like, I really feel that way. Like, I can see them in true Titanic style. You know, I wish I had the Titanic soundtrack. You know, y'all know how that the flute that come on, you know, like when it starts the song by Celine Dion. I wish I had that so I could set the mood for y'all. But y'all get what I'm saying. Y'all remember when Rose was on that little plywood, you know, on the water, and Jack in the Atlantic freezing to death. Like, I never let go. I'll never let go. And then she let go. I mean, come on, man. Like, this man out here freezing in the cold for you. Like, you could have had, like, but y'all know what I'm talking about. I feel like he gonna go down with the ship. He gonna ride with his boy. He gonna ride with his boy, man. Like, for real. I don't see that happening. Like, the only way I see either one of these guys, Haener or Rattler, playing, if Derek Carr gets hurt to a point where he can't play. But if that ain't the case, no matter how bad it gets, I don't think he gonna bench him. I already responded to that one. Says 5 days away until football. Man, it's been a long time coming, but we here. The Saints have the opportunity to play at home in the Superdome. Yep, they got a chance. A cup of coffee. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Matt Monk had a cup of coffee with the Denver Broncos. I think some of us remember that. But hey, man, Matt Monk is a legend in Louisiana. You know, Matt Monk is a legend. If LSU had a defense last, you can say Jaden Daniels too. Yeah, I guess you could say Jaden Daniels, but I mean, Jaden Daniels, like, I can't say Jaden because Jaden hasn't played an NFL snap yet. So I don't know what great college player, right? Great college player. Can't take that from him. You know, had a magical season. Well, I won't say he was a great college player. He had a great season, right? I won't say a great. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. Like, great. When you say great, that's Reggie. That's Tebow. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's great. Those are like great. Like Peter Warrick, that's great. You know, Chris Winkie, that's great college, you know what I'm saying, quarterback right there. Now, I'm talking about in the NFL. I haven't seen him take a snap yet. So he hasn't taken a snap in the National Football League. So therefore, like, I can't put him in that conversation. But if he goes out there and performs, like, of course he can be in that conversation. But yes, he is one of the best quarterbacks LSU has ever had. DA got to prove a point why he gave Carr $150 million contract. Well, he didn't give it to him. He suggested that the Saints give it to him, and the Saints front office gave it to him. All right. So, you know, I could suggest something all day, you know, but if nobody helped me out with it, you know, I'm just saying, but I get what you're saying. Makes sense. Do we believe Olave is a true number one receiver? I'm about to hurt some folk feelings. At this stage, I question it. I question it. Now let me explain why. I don't question the talent. I don't. He has all the tools to be a great receiver. But his behavior and the way that he's I feel like as a number one, like, man, you gotta be a dog, like, for real, man. Like, I just like think about the number one receivers on a team. Like, these dudes, like, really truly believe they number ones. Like AJ Brown, even though Devontae Smith be getting it in Philadelphia, he makes just as many plays as AJ. But in AJ mind, AJ feel like he the number one. So when he see Devontae Smith eating out there, boy, it's sticking his craw. Like, he get mad, he get frustrated. Like, it was a game where Devontae Smith went off, and they won. And the fans was like, going at AJ, yeah, great game. AJ didn't want no part of it. Yeah, and then they had an article that came out talking about he was upset about, not getting the ball. To me, that's what a number one is. Like, you see him and you just know for a fact. One thing that bothered me about Chris Olave, it did. It wasn't the clip that everybody's showing about what's one play, or have you seen one play that just tell you that this team is going to be special this year? And he was like, no, not really. Not that. It was at a press conference maybe like a few days ago. And they asked him about Rashid Shaheed's contract. And I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I'm going to tell y'all something. I have no problem with him supporting his teammate. But when he said, and I quote, he says, because I'm a one, and I don't even call myself a one. I'm gonna call myself 1A. What? Like, to me, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I get it. You trying to support your boy. You trying to see, support your guy. But, like, bruh, like, we can go out to eat. We can hang out, play video games, man. We can go, like, places, like our friends do. But at the end of the day, bruh, I'm still trying to, like, outwork you. I'm trying to play better than you. I am the number one. I would never have said that. And I just feel like with that makes me kind of question it. Like, I feel like he has number one traits. But I don't feel like number ones are passive. I don't. Like, number ones want the ball. Number ones feel like they can beat, like, anybody, like, no matter what type of coverage they come at you at. No, man to man, what have you. Like, to me, I feel like that's something that's missing. Like, that kind of bothered me, man. I'm like, he is the number one receiver for the Saints, but I don't know about that, man. Like, oh, I'm 1A. Like, nah, man. Like, dude, I'm number one. Like, I'd be like, man, I'm happy for my guy, man. Everybody know, that's my boy. Like, we came into the league together. At the same time, I'm happy for him, man. I know he's gonna be able to contribute to the team. I would have never said nothing about him being the number one. I'm sorry. I don't care how cool I am with you. Like, if we play on the same team, I want to see you eat, but not more than me. I ain't saying you got to have, like, be envious of your boy, but that if Shaheed has a, like, really good game, like, I shouldn't feel like, whoo, man, he bailed me out. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm going a little bit too far with it, but I just feel like number ones possess a certain type of energy, and I don't really get that from Olave. I don't. Like, I don't get it from, like, I think that Chris Olave is a really, really good receiver. But I question, like, is he like I don't know, man. I question the number one, like, mentality. I do. Number one is built different, in my opinion. Let's see. DA gonna have them boys like Bruce Leroy from Last Dragon. Leroy. Big Q says, hey, yo. What's going on, Big Q? Shouts out to Big Q, man. Dark Side said 150 million for a starting quarterback ain't bad compared to quarterback like Trevor Lawrence making 275 million with similar stats. Yeah, I guess it would, but you know, you got one guy who's been in the league 11 seasons, and you got another guy who's been in the league about 5, 4 or 5. I don't know. And then you also got to take into consideration, I guess, the way that the NFL pay scale is now. That's just the going rate for a quarterback now. Who that from South Philly, TJ? Thank you for being here, Eugene. Thank you. Olave is good, but it's like I haven't just seen him dominate like a Justin Jefferson or a Chase. That's a good assessment, Alfred. It's like I'm trying to think of a really good comparison. It's like eating a Outback Steakhouse steak. You know, it's like eating Outback steak. Like nothing's wrong with Outback. Like it hits the spot, right? But it's different from Ruth Chris Steakhouse, right? It's a difference. It's a different type of steak. Like you go to Ruth Chris, it's a different type of steak. Like it's suitable. Like what he's doing is good. Like it checks all the boxes. You know, good route runner, check. Like good catch radius, check. But it's like, where's that game? Like where you like, man, Olave just went off. Like how many games? Like I know he's public enemy number 1 right now. But how many games Mike T, like you can just really say, man, Mike T went off? Like you can think of several games. Like what's that one? Like this is what Olave's 3rd season. Like what's that one game where you just like he went off? Now they had one game when he played against Carolina. I think he almost had 200 yards receiving. You know, he had like 200 yards receiving almost, but that was just because Jameis was just chunking that thing down there. And he was telling Chris to run them streaks. But what's that one signature game? Like, where's that one signature game where you just like, man, Olave, like, that's when I knew. That's when I knew Olave was going to be a dog. I ain't seen it yet. Like, good, like, really good player. Really, like, this man is, like, if we at the bar, this man on the top shelf. You know what I'm saying? Like, but is he at the top shelf at the left corner, or is he like, okay, all right, is that him? And that's that's what I like. When I look at the top shelf, like Justin yeah, that was a good year. AJ Brown, oh yeah, man. Tyreek, yeah, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like the one, like, and then take it. You know, like I'm not sure yet. Like I don't know, you know, like I said, I don't know yet. Like I haven't seen that signature game yet. I haven't seen him like go off, like really get into a zone or something like that where like I can tell you exactly the game where I knew Mike T was gonna be that dude. It was the game against the Jets. Like they played the Jets. It was like, well, I want to say it was maybe like 2017. It was 2017 because Demario Davis was still playing for the Jets. And Michael Thomas would have had like 3 touchdowns in a game. He had only 1. They had 2 touchdowns that Drew threw to him, and he didn't drag his second foot. But he was so dominant in that game, man. Like he was winning his matchups. Like he was a straight up dog. And then there was a game against the 49ers. And this was, to me, that was really his coming out party. Drew Brees threw him a pass to the left side, the right side in the end zone, and he caught it. You know what I'm saying? A contested catch. That's when I knew that dude was going to be a dog. Just like I just mentioned that, I can't tell you a game with Chris Olave. I just knew he was going to be a dog. Like, I don't. Like I said, real like top shelf. He is top shelf, but I question, like, let's just say, for example, if the Saints get like another like top receiver, like come to the Saints next year. Like they use their first round pick to get like one of the best wide receivers coming out the draft. I honestly feel like Chris Olave will slide down the depth chart. I do. Like it's all like he gives me Brandon Cooks vibes. Like nothing's wrong with Brandon Cooks. Like nothing was wrong with him with the Saints. Like he made plays. He caught the ball when it was thrown to him. He had that speed, take that top of the defense. But it was like when Mike T came, it's like you just knew like Mike T was gonna be that dude. So I don't know, man. I get Brandon Cooks vibes. Like number one could be a number one any team, but like I feel like there was a reason like Brandon Cook was never like a number one receiver. Like even when he had that really good year with the Patriots, like I feel TJ. I like when the quarterback spreads the ball to everybody. Yeah, I think that is something that is beneficial to a team, and I feel like that's where most teams become successful. Because like teams don't know how to zero in or try to scheme for you because they don't know who gonna get the ball. Like Drew was good for that. Drew would throw the ball to 9 different people in a game. It was that time where he threw 4 touchdowns to 4 undrafted guys. Am I the meanest? Sure enough. Am I the prettiest? Sure enough. Am I the baddest mofo down on this place? Hey man, shouts out to go out to show no. Hey, that's a movie right now. That's a classic right there, man. If you ain't never seen The Last Dragon, I don't know what to tell you. Leroy. Oh man, that's a classic right there. And there, only there, will you find the glow. I keep saying we need a dog like AJ Brown come to help Smith. Mike T was our dog last season. You could count on him in any situation. Shaheed and Olave good, but 1,000 yards don't matter as much today. Callaway 700. Well, look, I'm saying these guys are like, I wouldn't like replace them with anybody. Like I just look for something different in a number one, man. Like I don't know, man. Like I can't really describe it, but it's like, man, I know people have their reservations about Michael Thomas, but that's like top receiver energy that he be putting out there on Twitter. Like guys like really being expressive, really speaking their mind, like don't care how other people feel, no matter how it makes them feel uncomfortable. Like they just know what they talking about. It means something to them. And at the same time, they want people to feel them. And I don't know, man. It takes a special human being to be a number one. That's why everybody can't do it. Man. And I just think that Olave will be the top receiver for the simple fact that he will get the majority of the targets. But I'm just saying, if there was another wide receiver to come in, let's just say if he had like a skill set that resembles like Marvin Harrison Jr. or Julio Jones coming up out of college or something. Like I just feel like, he'll like just slide over that number 2 and be all right with it. Like I don't get number one vibes from this guy. I don't. But I think he's really good. Like for real, I think he's really good. I'm not knocking Chris Olave at all. This reminds me of Mahomes and Alex Pitt not saying Rattler Mahomes. Well, I don't know. I gotta see Rattler play. But I mean, I think that he's gonna be really good in due time. TJ, every time I see one of these top 5 wide receiver lists or future Hall of Famers currently in the league list, my heart hurts a little for Mike T, the greatest tragic story in NOLA pro sports history. Yeah, man. I mean, it's always going to be what ifs with Mike T. I mean, it was a great moment in time. I really feel bad for him too, because I feel like he was on a trajectory to be a Hall of Famer and being one of the best wide receivers in the league. I want to say on NFL Top 100, he got as high as number 5. Like He was the first offensive player of the year at the wide receiver position since Jerry Rice. I mean, Cooper Kupp has done it since then, but he was the first guy to do it. I mean, it was incredible. 149 receptions. Yeah, it is pretty sad when you think about it, man, because like if his health didn't fail him, like as far as his lower extremities, leg, ankle, etc. Like we know that this dude would have been something special, and probably still, probably he'll still be playing with the team, still being that number one guy. You look for that alpha, that dog that you can count on in any situation and will fight for high balls and fight for yards. Colston was opposite Mike T's mentality, but was a dog on the field. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, as good as Colston was, and he was good, how many people put him in a top receiver conversation? Like how many times, like when you doing a list, his name came up? Fair, unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I will say this, he didn't match that personality of the 2009 wide receivers. Like those were the divas. Those were the Steve Smiths, the T.O.s, Chad Johnsons. Like those guys were like charismatic showmen, and their shadow kind of like, they just cast such a huge shadow. And you had guys like your Colstons out there that was making plays, like they didn't really get the attention. He was the number one receiver, but nobody really gave him that credit of being that, like in around the league. And, maybe if he was more like maybe if Colston was like Michael Thomas, he'll probably be like looked at in much higher regard. And I think he probably would have made some Pro Bowls because his numbers were good. But I just think that sometimes like his personality, like you wouldn't even know he's in there. Right. He's that guy like on the court, that I think I get him. Nobody really know he quiet, but he out there playing and you keep on dishing a ball to him and he'll shoot a three. Nobody really pay that much attention. Right. You go down the court again, he open again because ain't nobody guarding him because they don't know what they expect. You shoot another three. Like, dang, man, this dude cooking right here. All right, man. We go down there again. All right, man. He make it one more time. I'm at the guard. Throw it to him, switch. Now you got it. Now you got your attention, but it took a while for him to do that. That's Marcus Colston, but he was a number one. I think Mike T was better than Colston. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, he was. He was. Once again, no disrespect to Marcus Colston, one of my favorite New Orleans Saints player, the Quiet Storm. I think we all love Quiet Storm. But yeah, Mike T would have destroyed like all the Colston records if he would have stayed healthy. Like he would have still been like pulling away from individuals. He would be setting the tone for the next generation to come in to break his records. I mean, everything about him. TJ, one of the most slept on, cold-blooded scenes in movie history was Sho'nuff and his crew rolling up to Bruce Leroy's daddy pizza parlor and destroying a man's business just to be petty. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was dirty right there. Yeah, man. But yeah, that's a classic. Y'all gonna make me watch that when it's over. Would you rather take Carr now or Drew in his last season? Man, we get Drew in the last season. Let me get Drew in the last season. Keep telling y'all O-line, wide receiver, tight end, pass rush, run stop, and special teams are the meat and potatoes we lacking. People gloss over special teams, but it's huge in decisions and field positions within the game. Well, no cap. I mean, I don't know about the special teams. I mean, the Saints have had like one of the best special teams in the league. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what makes you feel that way about the special teams. Like offensive line, I mean, it remains to be seen. Wide receivers, like I still feel like they're missing something there. Tight end. I mean, when the last time the Saints had a tight end you can really just truly count on consistently. And you got the pass rush. Well, I mean, all these things are like just we don't know what they expect in 2024. Like we have an idea about what they've been. I would like to reserve my judgment on this. Like, I'm not saying what you saying, no cap, is not going to come to fruition. What I'm saying is, like, I'd rather just have a wait and see approach about it. Like, I don't want to just jump off the porch being pessimistic about the whole situation. Not to say that that's what you're doing. I'm just saying, like, I rather just have a wait and see approach about it and adjust accordingly. Like, I got my ideas about what I feel, but I don't want to like just completely like just poo-poo on the whole operation. Like, I like to see if guys made improvements, because we know that this coaching staff in a lot of ways last season failed these players. So let's see if this new batch of coaches can actually get the best out of these guys. How you feel about Bub Means? I'm gonna be honest, I ain't really hear that much about him. I think that he is, he has the right size for his height. I think he's like 6'3", 213, like good size, receiver. Guy that you can probably line up in a slot, do some damage. A guy that you can probably, put in the game on third down, maybe move the chains a little bit. Like maybe in the red zone, be able to be a little bit of a matchup threat to a team that's probably double teaming Olave or Shaheed. So yeah, I like him, but I haven't heard that much about him. And we all know what all these players got to do. They got to catch DAI. Yeah, he's really catching my eye. Like that's the new cleanup now, catching my eye. I was looking at him and he caught my eye, and I mean that's what you need to do. They got to catch my eye. Like I've heard catch my eye like so many times. Like I said, that's the new, we got to clean some things up. Now they got to catch his eye. If Olave is not a true wide receiver, would you consider trading for him for Devontae Adams? No, I wouldn't. No, like Dark Side, I'm not saying he's not a number one. He is a number one. Like I said, I use the example as like the top shelf. Like he is a number one. Like, man, it's like, I mean, he checks all the boxes of a number one. Like catch a lot of the passes, make plays. But it's just like, I'm looking for something like even with Devontae Adams, I use that as an example, Dark Side. I think we all seen a clip that's going around from the Netflix show Receivers, and him being frustrated at Jimmy G, like not getting the football. Like people like talking about making fun of him and stuff like that, but that's number one receiver behavior right there. Like it's just this drive, this thirst to be great and to be able to contribute and show the world why I belong here and why I should be in the wide receiver conversation. Like I can understand it. I just like I feel like that is number one receiver behavior. But at the same time, Devontae Adams has been in the league for a while. I mean, Chris Olave has been in the league like 3 years. Like I would not trade Chris Olave for anything. I just say, like, if the Saints were to draft a wide receiver that's really good, a first-round draft pick next season, I don't feel like that wide receiver would have to work hard to get that spot. Not that Chris Olave isn't good. I'm just saying, like, it kind of strikes me as that guy that would be okay with just being a 1B or a number 2. Like, I don't feel like it would devastate him or make him feel some type of way about it. I don't. We have arguably 5 of the franchise's best offensive players ever at their position in team history on the squad, all at once, as recent as 5 years ago. What a time to be alive. Yep. Good time, good moment. I'm talking special teams as far as field goal kicking and punting. Yes, we have good coverage unit and return unit though. Yeah, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the inconsistency at the field with the field goal kicking. Can make it from 53, but can't make it from 33. You got a punter out here who got tattoos all over his body, and that seemed like that's the thing that people love most about him. Is damn sure ain't the punting. But I guess they must see something in him again. Like, is there another punter up in there battling with Lou Hetley that I know of? Like, guess they okay with it. They okay with the the rugby style punting and the 23-yard punts, that go out of bounds. Like, man, that was like one of the biggest mistakes ever. I know, Blake Gillikin, man, like I know he was like hit and miss, but he when he kicked that ball, like he kicked that thing 60 yards. Like I never forget. Like, y'all remember that game when they played against the Commanders? That was the first time I ever just truly believed that a punter should have been player of the game. Like, homeboy was dropping them things inside the 10. Like, I'm talking about homeboy was on it. Like, he was the reason why the Saints won that game. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you look at that and just be like, yeah, I'm going to roll with Headley. Like, what did Headley do in practice like that just made you feel like, I can get rid of Blake Gillikin? And then you had, then you had Groupie up in there. Like, I don't know. Get rid of Will Lutz. I don't know. Like, if you're going to get rid of Will Lutz, like, I wouldn't have got rid of Will Lutz for that. I mean, that was basically a wash. Like, Will Lutz was all right in Denver. Groupie was all right in New Orleans. Like, you could have had all right with Will Lutz. Trading the youth and upside plays for an older Adams on the downside of his career would be unwise. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to look at that age. I mean, he played in a high level, but Chris Olave got way more years ahead of him than Devontae Adams do at this stage. I only mention a trade because Adams will be requesting a trade. Nah, I wouldn't trade for I wouldn't trade him for Chris Olave. Maybe like a third or fourth round pick or something like that. Yeah. Let's see. I can't believe Mike T is still a free agent. Yeah, I can't believe that either. And I know some people like, man, he burned his bridges. He went on social media and lost his mind. Like, man, y'all sit up here and criticize his team all Sunday long, and then all of a sudden when a player do it, why he said that? Like, why you say that at the barbershop? Shoot, why you broke your TV? Talking about, man, I can't wait till they fire Dennis Allen. Man, Derek Carr, man, he trash. But let Mike T go on social. Man, why Mike T said that, man? He talking too loud. But all your neighbors know how you feel about Dennis Allen. Because you yelling to the top of your lungs at the TV. But Mike T can't say nothing. Man, y'all, some of y'all like some of the biggest hypocrites in the world. Like, y'all say all these things about the team, criticize the coach, criticize the play, criticize the quarterback. But then a player come out here and say something and express himself. Oh, well, he's supposed to keep it behind closed doors. Y'all need to stop, man. Y'all can't have it both ways. Y'all can't want the truth and then don't like it when you hear it. Like, man speaking his mind. You think they will give Olave top wide receiver money after his rookie deal is over? Yep, I do. I really do. And he deserves it. Like, and there's nothing about his stat line that doesn't say he don't deserve it. Like, he had 1,123 yards and 5 touchdowns last season. So, man, he deserves like number one receiver money. TJ Aussie punter, a chain smoking and alcohol addiction away from being a punter from movie to replacement. Well, look, I don't know about the man personal life, man. I'm only judging him, Eugene, based on what I seen on the field. I mean, I know he likes tattoos. I know he got a tattoo shop and all that. I mean, whatever you do in your spare time, man, whatever you got, like, cool, right? Just don't hurt nobody, all right? But I'm talking about his performance on the field. Like, man, some of them punts I think I seen at the local high school. Some of them were better than some of the punts he put out there last year. How good you think about our defense, how good you think our defense will be this year? I think they're gonna be pretty much the same. Consistent, middle of the pack in some categories. Probably top 10, top 15 defense. I don't have an issue with this defense. Like, defense is not my problem. Like, it's not our problem. It's not our issue. Like, we know we're gonna have we know we're gonna have a good defense. That's why ain't nobody really talking about it. It's the offense people are paying attention to, and it's so crazy. Like it is so crazy. Like that the biggest issue that we're looking at is the Saints offense, and they have been known for offensive efficiency and offensive innovation for almost 20 years. That is crazy. But no, I'm not concerned about the defense. Not at all. How you feel about the linebacker room? I think it's top heavy. Yeah, I feel like it's top heavy. You know, I think that if something was to happen to Werner, Gay, or Davis, where you going? You know, where you going? So, yeah, just pray for the health of those men. I already read that. Way down in my guts, I don't trust Carr or Dennis. That's a big part of our issue. I guess you were saying our issue in English. Yeah, look, there's a lot of people that don't trust him. There's a lot of people that don't, right? But you get people on your good side by winning. I'm going to continue to say that. There's no other way I can put it. I know I sound like a broken record saying it, but it's just the truth. Like people start to believe in you when they feel like there's something to believe in. And if they go out here and win these games that they had no business winning and people didn't pick them to win, and people are seeing a change in his team, then they will win the respect of the Who Dat Nation. Like, you got to win. Like, it's just that simple. Like, man, that ain't how it works. Like, people be like, man, give him a chance. Like, you came into the organization, your last coaching stop, you were not very good. So people aren't going to give you a chance. They'll probably give you a chance, but the leash is going to be like really, really short because they feel like it's basically what you're doing is like reconfirming or reassuring the thoughts and the feelings that people had already about you, which is you're not very good at being a head coach. And then you look at Derek Carr, who we've been told the entire time, like it's been the situations that he's been in, it hasn't been him. And then he doesn't really come out and knock your socks off. You know, it's depressing. You know, it's just the truth. It's depressing. It don't feel good, man. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Like, but you go out there, you string together some wins. Nobody cares. Like, you'll be the toast of the town. You'll get a sandwich made after you, street named after you, song named after you. Like, if you embrace New Orleans, they're going to embrace you. If you show love to New Orleans, they will show love to you back. If you don't show love to it, they'll never forget you. There's a reason why people still have vitriol and hate in their heart for Anthony Davis every time the Lakers come to town. Or Chris Paul. You know, like they ain't show love. But Reggie Bush doing a telecast and people yelling out the window chanting his name. You know, Drew Brees can't walk down the street. Probably could eat in any restaurant in New Orleans for free. So if you go out there and win, telling you, man, on Q93, they have a song for you, hot and ready, right off the press. Did we have any top 100 players? Yeah, I had Demario Davis up there. And I want to say you had Tyrann Mathieu too. I think he was on the list, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's like your only two. Unless anybody else knew somebody else that was on the list I don't know about. Like, did AK make the list? I don't know. I wasn't really paying that much attention. They don't do it like how they used to. Like how they used to come on. Now they just basically just kind of put it up on social media and you just see something. 44, such and such. You know, like number one, Tyreek Hill. Like I didn't even really, like, who was number 100? You know, like, so you have to go on the website. It used to be like a show, but now it ain't a show no more. They basically just tweet it or, you know, put like a little post out. I guess that's cheaper than actually having to do a production for a show, right? But people like look forward to those shows. I think if it comes down to it, I think Mickey might try to keep Allen as the DC if the Saints don't do well. Nah. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm sorry. If Dennis Allen gets fired, he leaves. And all those, you know, good defensive performance that he put forth are going to go with him. You know, that's what it is. So he said Demario is 44, and I yelled out 44. That's crazy. I would just randomly blurted out a number, and it just so happened to be Demario Davis, which I think he's better than 44, but being a top 50 player in the National Football League at the age of 34, they did the list before he turned 35. That's the reason I'm saying it. But the fact that you're actually on that list at that age, I mean, that's impressive. It's still a show. It's on the NFL. Yeah. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I didn't know it, like, because most of the time when I see it, it's basically just, like Instagram and X post. That's it. Like that's all I see. So I was like, do they really still have a show? And if they do, it's like, man, you don't really know when it come on. Just asking because we struggle against mobile quarterbacks. It seems like DA can't stop them. But you know what? This is the best thing about bringing this wide zone offense to the New Orleans Saints is because a lot of the teams that the Saints play and they struggle against run the same type of style. If you look at like the Rams, when they got the door blew off them against the Rams last year, the Rams kind of run this style. 49ers, they run this style. Like the when you have that quarterback that can move outside the pocket, a lot of teams implement this wide zone. So to me, being able to go up against this every single day, you basically be able to learn how to neutralize some of the things that you've had issues with. So that's the plus. That's the plus about all this. Debbie is rolling up, hunker down. Yeah, we're supposed to have some rain coming through here tonight. So, yeah, but hopefully everything will turn out okay. Not really supposed to be much, but some a little bit of wind and mostly just rain. So let's just hope that it stays that way. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. For those that just rolled up, probably just wanted to hear some Saints talk. My name is Timothy J. Jones. I'm a native of New Orleans, born and raised there. Been loving the New Orleans Saints as long as I can remember, man. And started this podcast back in 2018. One of the greatest things to me, was making this podcast. Thousands of episodes, great support, very interactive. So if you're into like real Saints talk, I know that sometimes people may not like some of the things that I say. Is fair, but what we try to do here, man, we don't just put the pom-poms on all the time. Number one, we want to see this team succeed. We want to see this team succeed. I don't want anybody to feel like I don't, right? Look, I'm not a shock jock. I don't have a script in front of me. Like these are like my real organic feelings in real time. And I just love this team, and I just want what's best for the team. When they do good things, we're gonna praise them. When they don't do good things, we're gonna talk about it. And I just want people to understand that, because a lot of people, I know how this society is now. It's like, oh, if you say anything negative about somebody, you don't like them, you're not a real fan. My thoughts and my views about this team are passion driven. I don't think it gets no greater than that. And I don't feel like you can be a bigger fan if you're a guy or a woman who has passion behind your team and willing to express it. So like I said, very interactive podcast, and hopefully we won you over here tonight on this live stream. If we did, I'm asking you to hit the subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Hit the like button. We need those likes to go up, folks. I see like hundreds of people like be checking out and viewing this, and I only see like a handful of likes. So I'm just asking everybody to hit that like button. Help the channel to grow. Like help the State of the Saints podcast grow. I really appreciate that. And also on tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, Roundtable Sports NFC South edition. Go to youtube.com, search Roundtable Sports. You can search NFC South. You'll be able to see, me there, talking alongside fans of and, podcasters of other teams in the NFC South. And I don't know what to expect. I really don't, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what to expect. But I'm just asking everybody to check it out. It's the pilot episode. And also the Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast is available right now. YouTube.com, search Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast. That is my secondary podcast where I talk about some of the hottest topics in all the sports. We're doing our series 32 teams in 32 days. We just dropped the video on the San Francisco 49ers, the NFC champions. Couldn't get over the hump yet again in the Super Bowl, man. Will they get over the hump in 2024? Go ahead and check that video out. I broke it down. The last conference, or the last division rather, we're going to be talking about is the AFC West. And, I'm excited about that, man. So we're going to be breaking down the AFC West and we'll be seeing what they can bring to the table. But that's Gumbo Pod Sports Podcast on YouTube. Thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints. Hopefully we get some exciting football from Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener. Looking forward to seeing what those young Bulls can do. And, it's going to be exciting, man. Just make sure that y'all strap in, enjoy the ride, man, while the Saints decide who's going to be the right players on that 53-man roster. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.
Whoa. My bad. For the people that ain't here. For the people that didn't realize TJ put out a podcast at 11:10 p.m. Eastern, 10. Where you been? Shouts out to all the people that couldn't be here. Shouts out to the after show, boys.
Shouts out to them after show boys. Shouts out to them after show boys. They be tweet and be posting. They be tweet and be posting. They be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys. They be tweet and be posting. They be tweet and be posting. They be tweet. Yeah, them after show boys.
And shouts out to all the after show boys, after show girls out there. And now I can say, till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast.
Hey, don't let these tears fool you. It's all dog around this mug. I'm good.